one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
You view this season as a failure?
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much or how you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our block, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Greatness.
Greatness happened?
Greatness.
Really?
You got a chance to witness greatness at its highest order. Skip, what word do I want to use? Was this the crescendo? Was this the zenith? The apex? The denouement?
That's a good word. I like that word. That's a good Hollywood word.
The sun has set on game 1 in Golden State. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for clicking on the video. I appreciate you for joining me. If it's your first time, yo, stick around. Check out some shows, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gonna grow to love me. I promise you, bro. I know what I'm talking about. That's first. All right? I know what I'm talking about. I don't just be on here talking. All right? I know what I'm talking about. I might not got the greatest setup, but I'm grinding, baby. I'm grinding, baby. Listen, this is a perfect spot for you to listen to recaps of the Western Conference semis between the Lakers and Golden State. Why? Because well, you know, I like Jason Tiff too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna check him out too. But I love Steph Curry. I'm a Laker fan. This is really a win-win for me, bro. And if you don't listen to me, I done already said it multiple times. The winner of this series is winning the finals, bro. I'm taking the winner of this series in the finals. With that being said, I might not pick this said team to win in the next round. You just got to understand my biasness that I'm telling you up front. I've been a Laker fan my entire life, and I'm a Steph Curry fan. So I could care less who wins. Well, I would lean towards Steph winning because as a Laker fan, we got 17 chips and Kobe ain't suiting up for us. So I would prefer to see Curry keep stacking his legacy. However, I don't know how many times the Lakers are going to get back to this position, especially when you consider Anthony Davis look good right now. And if we could just bottle this moment up, if we could just bottle this Anthony Davis up and get him through the playoffs, I promise you the Lakers are winning the finals. That's what I saw tonight. Listen, you know how much I love Steph Curry. Steph Curry he didn't have a great game. He didn't have a Steph Curry type of shooting night, but he had a good game. Steph's going to find a way to get his points, just like LeBron didn't have the greatest game, but he found a way to get his points. Both of them found a way to get their points in big moments. That's just what they do. But you got a big game out of Jordan Poole, who this was his best game of the season, in my opinion. You got a good game out of Klay Thompson. You didn't really get a great game out of the others, but you did get good games out of some of the other players. However, a game like this for the Warriors, they usually win it. Hell, they had a chance to win it at the end of the game. The difference is Anthony. Well, first off, before I get into AD, one of the differences is the Lakers' others had great games. Now, you could attribute that to the days off. You could attribute the Warriors started slow. They actually took a lead to start the game because the Lakers came out cold, and you could attribute that to them having that many days off. But as soon as the Lakers got back into their flow, feeding AD, they looked phenomenal. And the Warriors hit a lot of 3-pointers. Like, I think while the Warriors might have shown fatigue throughout the game in parts, I still think they played a good game. They started really getting hot towards the end of the game, but I thought they had great moments all throughout the game. So I really can't say, the Warriors. I mean, obviously, the Warriors might be a little tired from going to a game 7 and a quick turnaround. However, they still played a great game, in my opinion. I think the difference in this game was Anthony Davis. AD had 30 points, 20 boards, 5 blocks. Anthony Davis's presence in the paint might be more important than his points that he gave you, because he really wasn't a huge scoring threat in the second half of the game. The others for the Lakers did a great job at getting points and playing above their heads tonight. However, Anthony Davis just changes what you can do in the paint when he is on. This is why I get so irritated with Anthony Davis, because you know what this dude can do, and he always hurt, or he can't play through certain injuries. And listen, I'll be the first one to tell you, this ain't my body, so I cannot tell you what to play through and all that type of stuff. However, for people to continuously rank AD as high as they rank him, and for him not to have to come through in these big moments yet, for him not to have to put a consistent resume together, or at least a year together where he just dominate and help his team win a championship and be the driving force. He doing it now. And that's what irritates you when you realize he don't do it all the time. Because I said on the previous video, throughout the playoffs, AD always done found ways to allow Draymond to stop him when it mattered the most. Wasn't nobody stopping Anthony Davis tonight. Now, Anthony Davis stopped Anthony Davis in the second half, but I think that could be chalked up to fatigue. He was tired. He played the entirety of the second half, I believe. However, when AD is this aggressive, because I don't think you can rely on LeBron as heavily as you could back in the day, because listen, if LeBron James was LeBron from a couple years ago, this wouldn't even be a matchup. This would be the Lakers taking this with him and AD both in their primes. Obviously, that's not the way this thing work out. We done seen LeBron in his prime with other greats, but right now, AD is truly, I'm not saying he the best player on the team, but he the best scorer on the team. And if AD is the one who come out aggressive scoring wise, then it's going to be hard to stop Golden State because of how tall he is, how big he is, how aggressive. When he is aggressive also, AD might not be generational on the offensive side of the ball all the time, but he is always generational defensively. Even in some of his worst shooting nights, AD is great defensively. And the fact that he changed what Golden State can do in the paint, Golden State going to have to hit a lot of jump shots because they can't rely. Now, that's one thing that's going to always irritate me. Y'all hear me talk about this all the time, is the inconsistency with calls. You look at Golden State, bro, Dennis Schroeder had more free throw attempts than the Golden State Warriors entire team. We see shit like this every year. One year, the Clippers had got outshot from the free throw line by 30 or something free throws. Last year, some team had an outrageous amount of free throws compared to the team they faced. I'm never going to like how referees call games one-sided at times. Like, you could truly chalk, I'm not blaming it on free throws, But as many free throws as the Warriors as the Lakers took tonight, that covered the spread for the 5 points that the Warriors lost by because of how many free throws they had. And that's going to be a thing for the Warriors. If the refs are going to call the game the way they called it tonight, the Warriors are going to have to find a way not to foul, because if you take away half of the free throws that the Lakers shot tonight and you force the Lakers to actually find ways to score the ball and not rely on free throws, this is a completely different game. The free throws kept LA in the game. It helped them take the lead. It helped them keep the lead going when they couldn't hit shots. They just got to the free throw line. Now, I'm never going to be a fan of the refs just giving these tic-tac fucking fouls all the time for the Lakers. It's very irritating when you see a dude like Curry go in, continuously get banged on and not get a call. But then you see Dennis Schroeder fly down the court and they tap him and he get calls. It's ridiculous. Like, the Lakers took so many more free throws than the Warriors. And if you just cut that in half, the Warriors win this game. However, I'm not here to complain about the free throws. I just like seeing ball one at its purest form. I don't like when free throws make up that much of a discrepancy in the game. That's very irritating to me. However, there's a lot of different moments in these games. And I told you, as critical as I am of Jordan Poole had a great game. The shot that he took to tie the game, why not step up a couple steps, bro? Why launch it from that deep? We know you can hit that shot, but in this moment, bro, with the time where it's at, where we at in this game, you have to put all those things together, bro. You're not Steph Curry. You're not Klay. You're not LeBron. You haven't earned the right to take those shots. Kevin Durant, take a smart shot, my guy. We know you got range, and I'm not taking nothing away from the game Jordan Poole had, but if you can't teach in a loss, then we hopeless. Because there was a better shot to be taken after you work as hard to get this lead and to tie the game and to put yourself in the position to take this game into overtime or to steal a win. Now, it's a lot of things that both teams, I think, can do. I actually think the Lakers played as great of a game. Like, considering the opponent, because I watched all the games that we played against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, to me, was not an opponent that really, I told you, I picked us to beat them because I never feared the Grizzlies, because to me, they don't shoot the ball good enough. They're not good enough in the half court. They rely way too heavily on foul calls. And I just don't think that you'll get those calls against LeBron and AD in the playoffs. Like, it was so many things, the inexperience, the fact that they talk more than they actually win. Like, it was a lot of reasons I took the Lakers in that series. This is a bit of a different series when you consider the Warriors hit a lot of shots tonight, and this was a tough night for a lot of the Warrior players. You can count on a couple things happening again in this series. The Warriors will probably have another good shooting night. AD will have to have, I truly believe that after seeing what AD did in the first round and seeing how he came out in game one, you can rely on AD to give you at least 25 points, 10 rebounds, and at least 2 blocks or 3 blocks a game. And as long as AD is anchoring your defense, now, I'm not going to say that AD can't score, because if AD is not scoring, then you do have a problem, because I don't think LeBron is at the point in his career where he can just go get the buckets like he used to. I don't think the other Laker players are reliable enough to where you could just, to me, it's more of a hope thing that they have a hot night rather than it is if AD and LeBron step out there. You can guarantee LeBron will figure out a way to be dominant, and LeBron gonna have at least one. I know for a fact LeBron and Curry will both have a game in this series where they both just go ape shit. To me, AD just had his ape shit type game. I mean, AD was absolutely phenomenal. And if AD continue, now listen, the only caveat that I have that I'm fearful, because you're hearing the Laker fan come out of me right now. The only thing that scared me about me, I'm not switching my pick in this series. I'm still taking Golden State in 7. But it's kind of like I told y'all, I might pick the Celtics to win a series, but soon I'm rooting against them every single game. Now, I'm not rooting against Golden State, just like I'm not rooting against LA. I told you, I love Steph Curry. I love the Lakers. It just is what it is. I love LeBron, too. I want to make that clear. I do love LeBron. I'm just telling you, I was a Laker fan before I was a LeBron fan. So, you know what I'm saying? But listen, the only fear that I have is that there could be some games where AD don't have and it won't be because AD, don't want to score or nothing. He just going to be fatigued at some point in time. It happens. My only problem is, because I'm putting a lot of faith in LeBron, my only concern or problem would be LeBron's fatigue level. Because I know he ain't the Bron he used to be. And I know he got the size against a lot of these, but LeBron can have bad shooting nights. I mean, he struggled shooting tonight, really. And I know he can figure his way through those type of games, but do those games come in games where the Warriors is red hot? Because this is one of those series I'm not concerned about home, on the road. I don't care about that. These two teams led by LeBron and Curry, bro. Like I said, you just get some popcorn and you enjoy what you about to see. There's going to be dudes winning on the road. They're going to be winning at home. I'm not concerned about none of that. I have a game. This series to me is going 7 games. Unless Anthony Davis continue to do what he did. Because I don't feel like the Warriors can defend Anthony Davis, which is what I've been saying about the Warriors for a while. Listen, as great as Draymond is, for one, when the refs giving Draymond 3 fouls this early, 2 fouls as early as he gave him, you take a lot of things went in the favor of the Lakers when you really take a deep dive into the game. Steph Curry being in foul trouble early, Draymond being in foul trouble early. I don't know why Klay had as long a rest as he had in that first half. But I'm not one of those people who go at Steve Kerr. I love Steve Kerr. I'm actually irritated with the people who continuously try to take all the credit away from Steve Kerr and give it to Mark Jackson. People who do that, it's very clear you don't watch basketball. You just stealing the credit from the Warriors and giving it to Mark Jackson because you like black people over white people. That's basically what you're doing at this point, because this is just fucking ignorant, the way I hear people talk about Steve Kerr. And that's not taking nothing away from Mark Jackson. But I'd be damned if I win this many championships as the head coach of a team and somebody gonna tell me that, well, you know what, actually you won them, but Mark Jackson the one who should really get the credit for. Fuck you. But with that being said, Anthony Davis to me will determine a huge part of this series. Because if Anthony Davis have 2 more games that he just had tonight, this ain't going 7. This is a 6-game series minimum. I mean maximum. If Anthony Davis can come and have 2 more games the way he had. I don't fully trust Anthony Davis yet, but I'm getting there just for this year. Because it just seemed like he wanted this year. It just seemed like he hella motivated, like he very into the shit that he doing. And I love that shit. I love it. And so listen, if Anthony Davis and LeBron can get LA championship 18, my guy, oh my God. Listen, you're going to hear me say at the end of the series, one way or another, you're going to hear this line. That's all right, Curry, we're going to get him next year. Or all right, LA, we got him next year. You're going to hear that line regardless, bro. This is literally one of them. I tell you, I'm not a fan of Spirit Awards. A Spirit Award going to be given and loved at the end of the series. Because I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not fighting my love for Curry or my love for the Lakers. It's just not going to happen. Point blank, period. Like I said, the team that come out of this series, and see, I would have preferred if this series had taken place in the Western Conference Finals, because then this team would have directly went to the finals. One of these two teams could possibly still get, because Denver actually to me looked like the best team. The difference between Denver and LA is the difference between Denver, LA, and the Warriors is while Denver looked like the best team, when Denver faced the Warriors or the Lakers, they won't have the best player, in my opinion. Because as great as Jokic is, if Anthony Davis come out there and do what he do, if Steph Curry come out there and do what he do, if Bron come out there and do what he do, those will be one of the best players in the series. Not Jokic, not Murray, not Porter. And so that's why I would ultimately take, because I just know what a great player does for a team. I told you last year in the finals, the Warriors are not the better team compared to the Celtics, but they got the better player. And at the end of the day, not only do they have the better player, they have a legendary player on the Warriors team who done been there, done that, and is on the hunt for greatness. He not even battling the dudes that's across from him. He battling himself and the greats that's not even playing the game anymore. Like that's the legacy run he is on. I said it before. It's another player I was talking about. When I talk about Steph Curry and LeBron all the time, I say they hunting for a different type of history. When players that they play against nowadays is playing, they hunting for things that, damn near 20 other dudes in the NBA hunting for. When LeBron and Steph step on the court and they say every year it's a championship or bust for us, they mean that shit, because it ain't really nothing else that they could really win that would mean much of anything. You got the scoring titles and all these other type of accolades, the first teams, the all-stars. For players like that, top 10 players to ever play this game, all they care about is championships. That's all that matters. And with that being said, I still agree with what Giannis said. I'm putting it into a perspective, because every year that Curry and LeBron don't win, it's not a failure. If neither one of them win this year, it's not a failure. If one or the other don't win this year, it's not a failure. It's another step in the process of them becoming greater than they already are. Losing at this point for Steph and LeBron don't do shit to their legacy. Losing is basically an exhibition game at this point. I don't care how they lose, when they lose, who they lose against. When you talk about dudes who established, that's Steph Curry, that's LeBron James. It's not a damn thing that they could do wrong in their careers at this point that would tarnish their legacies, in my opinion, as far as on the court things. Everything else is just cherry on top. These boys hunting for ring number 5. Who else in the NBA hunting for that? Obviously, you got the different players on the Warriors who done been with Curry this entire time. But as far as two legendary, iconic players, generational talents that we will never see the lights of when they retire, which is why I constantly preach on don't be so quick to try to turn the page on these dudes. They fighting for something different. They playing for something different. That's what make this series so special. I'm telling you, don't go in. You can clearly go into the series and who you want to win and whatnot. Most people not going to be like me, where I'm a Steph Curry fan, but I'm also a Laker fan. Most people not going to be like me. There's going to be people out there, even though I know people out there who are Steph and LeBron fan. I love both of them too. So if I wasn't a Laker fan, I would still cheer for both because I like Steph and LeBron. However, I know people who love Steph, LeBron, so they don't care who win. I know people who love the Lakers and Golden State, which is weird unless you is like specifically a Steph fan or specifically a LeBron fan, because I do know the LeBron fans will follow him anywhere. I understand that. But it's just a series that I just implore everybody to be entertained by, bro. After the series, and you already got the people on ESPN talking about legacy talk and shit like that. They won't stop. They got to fill a quota. They got to get the ratings. They got to, you know what I'm saying? They got to do that type of shit to make sure the shows stay on the air. But you got to understand something. What we are seeing right now, oh my goodness. And listen, I understand, because I saw somebody tweet, this really not LeBron v. Curry. This is actually Curry v. AD. And I understand that. I understand Curry is still very much in his prime. And LeBron is on the back end of his prime. I'm not going to say he out of his prime, but he is on the back end of his prime where he's not necessarily able to score in the way that Steph Curry can or Anthony Davis can at this very moment. However, when they write the chapter, it's not going to be Steph Curry AD. It's going to be Steph Curry LeBron featuring Anthony Davis. And we're going to talk about how LeBron had a dude show up for him. I like how y'all I saw somebody tweet this the first time LeBron done had comparable talent towards Curry. No, it's not. But y'all can keep telling yourselves that. At the end of the day, this is a phenomenal series, man. You got to tune out the LeBron stands. You got to tune out the Curry stands, and you just got to appreciate two absolute legendary players lacing it up, doing it again. This is I get goosebumps, to be completely honest with you, watching these two compete against each other, bro. This is, I don't think y'all understand what we watching. I really don't. Y'all don't understand what we watching. This is beautiful. This is iconic. This is legendary. This is magic. This is Steph and LeBron. You got to appreciate it. The Miami Heat took a loss tonight. No Jimmy Butler. They competed, though. And it reassured me that if Jimmy Butler was healthy, they probably win in this series. That's what I took from that. But this wasn't this video is not to break down that game. This was to talk about the Lakers and Golden State. But Golden State going to have to come into this next game. I just think it's going to be so hard for Golden State to win it. Listen, I don't doubt that Golden State can hit enough jump shots. I really don't. I trust they can hit jump shots more than I trust that the Lakers, others will come out and have the games that they had tonight. However, It's the fact that at some point in time, you're going to have to try to find ways to get inside and score. And Anthony Davis is such a presence inside that it just throw everything off for Golden State. Now, the caveat to that would be, and I'm trying to play both sides of the field, because I understand the caveat for a Warriors fan would be, not a Steph Curry fan, but a Warriors fan would be, well, they had so many fouls called for him that if you take away half of those foul calls, then we win the game because they don't just get free points. To that, I would say you right to an extent. You still can't have some of the stupid ass fouls that was committed on the night by the Warriors. The Warriors still gave up ridiculous fouls. However, like I said before, I don't like the game being called the way it was called tonight so heavily for one team. One player cannot have more free throws than an entire fucking team. Shit like that is very irritating, especially when you consider it wasn't even LeBron. It was Dennis Schroeder. Steph Curry can't get the calls that Dennis Schroeder was getting tonight. And that's absolutely ridiculous. I cannot understand why they called a game the way they call it for Steph Curry. Maybe the refs just see him as a shooter, so they're not going to give him the calls that they would give most superstar players. Either way, I understand Golden State's frustration when it comes to that. To that, I would also say you just got to play ball, baby. You have to understand that at some point in time, the refs will even out these calls. Golden State will have a game where they get the favorable whistles eventually, I think. You do have to imagine that eventually it will be games where the Lakers have to score points rather than relying on the free throw. Even though I saw like a stat where the Lakers take the most free throws and give up the least amount of free throws, but the Warriors don't even take a lot of free throws because they're not a team to get calls from the refs anyways. However, the thing, if you're the Warriors, you have to imagine, if you're the Lakers, you're going to try to keep getting the fouls. But if you're a Warriors fan, if I'm looking at it from a perspective of a Warriors fan, you just have to believe that eventually they're not going to get so many more whistles than you get, or they're not going to get as many as they got tonight, that where it can be such a huge discrepancy in the game. And you're going to have to think to yourself that they're going to have to eventually hit shots. Like they won't be able to rely on as many free throws because they'll have to hit shots. Eventually, the games will become a make or miss game for the Lakers. And that's what you're relying on if you're the Warriors. But if you're going to rely on that, you have to play tighter defense. You have to be better in transition. You have to be better at staying in front of people. And one of the things that happened for the Warriors, I saw it happen tonight with some of their shooters. They rush a lot of shots even when they open. Like Andrew Wiggins rushed a couple shots and shot them too strong. As good as the night Jordan Poole had, he would have had probably 15 more points if he didn't rush a couple other shots. Like Steph Curry had some rush. I'm not critiquing Steph Curry or Clay, but it's so many things that the others for the Warriors can still do better. I think they should try to figure out how to get Kuminga involved, because I just think a big body like that who play defense at the level he play at could do more for the Warriors than having. I understand the dilemma with Jordan Poole is he's such a terrible defender that having him and Steph on the floor at the same time is just difficult. Because even though Steph not a terrible defender, he only can do so much on defense. And you have to imagine when he run as much as he run on offense and then come back down the court and try to play defense still, you got to imagine that's going to tire him out. And so that's an easy matchup to keep trying to exploit. I think you got to get Jordan Poole off the floor. I don't think him and Curry can play big minutes together, but that's a dilemma that you have when you sign him to that extension. But listen, to me, Anthony Davis is the equalizer, because if you look at the series, I know some people, and I reject the people out there who saying LeBron James not still a superstar. He not still one of the top players. I don't agree with that. I think this is a series where if Anthony Davis come out and do what he's supposed to do, I understand the people who say it's Curry v. AD, but it will be a great help to LeBron because AD is better than any of the dudes on the Warriors not named Steph Curry. Now, I understand on the Warriors side that you might not agree with that. You might think to yourself, well, if Klay Thompson come out and have his best games, he better than AD. I don't agree. However, I understand what you are saying. But in my opinion, it would take Herculean efforts from Steph Curry on a nightly basis, which would tire him the fuck out. But it would take those type of efforts on a nightly basis to basically be able to get to the Warriors, to get the Warriors over that Laker hump if AD come out and had the games he just had. And I can hear the Warriors right now where they barely won and it was still only free throw. I get it. And we're just going to have to see how that next game play out, baby. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking or something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.